Okay, so my talk's going to be about education, but before I talk about education, I'm going to show you an image, and I just want you to think about your emotional reaction to it. This is a poster from the movie Cloverfield, and I've never actually seen the movie, but I really like this image because it shows the Statue of Liberty, an obvious symbol of America, with her head torn off and New York City's burning in the background. And I imagine for most of you, the idea of this actually happening to the country is kind of frightening. But now I want you to compare your reaction from this image to this next one. American students are ranked 25th out of 34 countries worldwide in math and science. That's really low. And the fact is that signals that American students are not measuring up to their peers worldwide. And if the students of today aren't measuring up, the fact is that America as a nation will not be able to measure up when these students become the leaders and workers of the country. And this represents a much more real danger to the country than any monster any monster Hollywood has come up with so far. But the sad fact is American education is plagued with statistics like these. How about this one? 1.3 million students drop out of school each year. Put that in perspective, the population of the state of Maine is 1.3 million people. We have an entire state's worth of students dropping out of school each year. And part of the problem is that we've been using basically the same model of teaching since practically the inception of the public school. That of a teacher standing in front of a group of students giving a lecture. But the thing is, students have changed and society has changed, and this is no longer cutting it. We need, as a country, to reevaluate education and reimagine the classroom. And here's an idea that's in that direction. It's called the flipped classroom. And the idea of a flipped classroom is pretty simple. What students do in class, they now do out of class. What they did out of class, they now do in class. And how this works is that a teacher, instead of standing in front of the classroom giving a lecture during class time, will record that lecture on a video, post that video online for students to watch on their own time. Students the next day will come in, and what they would have probably had assigned as homework problems, they would do in class with the help of their teachers and with the help of their peers. And the great benefit of this kind of system is it really allows self-pacing of students' learning. For example, if a student is struggling with material, they can go home, they can watch the lecture, they can watch it as many times as they need to, spend time on the parts they're having trouble with, and then the next day in class come in with questions and actually interact with their teacher, which is a great improvement over the old system where they would listen to the lecture once, understand as much as they could, and then struggle through homework on their own. On the flip side of that, if a student is very comfortable with the material, they can spend as little or as much time on the lecture as they want to. They're not stuck in class for an entire period listening to something that they already understand and being bored out of their mind. They can move on to something more productive. Now, this system has actually been instituted in some schools. These are some stats from a school in Detroit that started using a flipped classroom system. And if you notice, there has been a significant decrease in the number of freshmen who are failing out of their English class since they started using the system. Not only that, but we also see a dramatic decrease in the number of discipline cases that the school has seen since they started using this system. Now, if we take results like these and we multiply them across the entire nation, we're starting to see not only are students receiving a better education and understanding the material better, but fewer students are probably going to be dropping out because there's fewer discipline cases. Now, I'm not saying this is the be-all, end-all solution to the problems American education is facing, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. We need to, as a country, reevaluate the classroom, reimagine it, and put America back on.